and welcome. This is Cozy Reads. If you are new here, lovely to meet you. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is my monthly TBR, where I set some priorities for my reading over the course of the month. Now this doesn't mean that I can only read the books that are on my TBR. I have a whole bookshelf behind me that I can choose from if I'm in a mood read, but these are just the books that I've either had for a while, they are part of a series that I would like to continue, or books that I am not sure are for me. I have a few on here that maybe from before my reading style started to develop. Over the past year, I've made reading a bit of a priority. I feel like it's really helped my mental health, having a bit of a break from the online space. Yes, I still go online, but I do find it good to have an outlet that is not looking at a screen. That is personal opinion, it's just something that's helped me. I will be using a wheel to help me choose my books for this month. The priority is this card. If my wheel lands on a prompt that I cannot fill on this card, I will be going to the bookshelves. So let's see if the wheel is going to be nice to us this month or not so nice. Two books here that I carried over from February. I was ill for about a week, so I just wasn't really doing much reading. You might be able to tell I'm still quite congested, so apologies that my voice might sound a bit nasally, but there's not really much I can do about that, unfortunately. I'm going to put my TBR for this month on the top of the cards here, so it's clearly in my eyeline, and it helps remind me that these are the books that I should really be prioritising. So without further ado, let's spin the wheel and see what the first book we get is. First we've got is a title that starts with B. Now just looking at these bookshelves here, so you can see it, there is only one option that I really see that starts with B, and that is Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. Now I read the Queen's Cove series by Stephanie Archer and I really enjoyed that, so I'm eager to read more of her writing. I think it's just easy to read, has a little bit of spice but not too much, and it's just really enjoyable. This is a sports ice hockey romance, so slightly different to her previous series. I do have a couple more options I could pick from my bookshelf. I'll pop them on the screen. So I do have by R.F. Kong, or Beach Read by Emily Henry. Now just because I want to make this a bit of a priority, and I do have another Emily Henry that I could potentially put on here, I am tempted with Behind the Net. I want to start this series, so I will be putting this on my February TBR. That's the first book going on. Starts with the B, is Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. So let's put that up there. Oh, it's a very similar colour vibe with Icebreaker up there. Let's spin for our next prompt. Our next prompt is by 2 or more authors. This is a bit of a harder one because I think I only have one book that I know. I think I have one book that I know is by 2 authors, so bear with me, I will go and get it. The only book that I know that has 2 authors that I own is Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weather. I believe that they're sister-in-laws, or one was engaged to the other one's brother when they wrote this together, but yes, this is the only book that I am aware of that has 2 authors. So this is a bit of a fantasy book. There are twin sisters who were basically separated at birth. There's one who ends up being a princess. The other sister was stolen from the palace at birth. She is a secret sister that nobody knows about. And she basically plots to usurp the princess and take the crown for herself, because she wants to protect the witches that helped raise her and the witches that her sister hates so much. It does say on the back, in the battle for the crown of Iana, where will your allegiances lie? So I'm guessing that throughout it we may end up picking a side and choosing a princess that we want to be in charge of the kingdom. This is part of a series, so you can see on the back there are 2 of the books in this series. If we like it, I will purchase the next one. Let's spin the wheel for our third prompt. So prompt number 3 was a book with water on the cover. I am a bit stumped because I don't think there are actually any books on here with water on the cover. I may just separate these actually. Bear with me, I'll be right back. So I have just separated them slightly so it makes it a little bit easier for me to look through, particularly when asking about the cover. Now there aren't any on here with water on the cover that I can see, because I wasn't sure. I thought that might be one, but I don't actually think I think they're feathers rather than water. So, ooh, tell a lie, there is one. So we do have a book on our priority TBR with water on the cover, and that is A Happy Place by Emily Henry. So this could be a contender. We do have a couple on the shelves as well. We have a couple of options on the shelf as well. We have The House on the Cerulean Sea and Lies We Sing to the Sea. So I feel like they sort of fit the water vibe as well. Now, sticking true to my priority is here, I am going to put Happy Place by Emily Henry as the one to fit the prompt, water on the cover. But I do also want to put one of these, because sometimes I like to put an extra bit of challenge up there. If I read the X one, I read the X one. If I don't, I don't. But I think I am going to put Lies We Sing to the Sea as an extra bit of a challenge on there as well. So in the Cursed Kingdom, each summer brings the hanging of 12 young women, a gift from the vengeful Poseidon. For 17 years, Leto has escaped the curse's mark until now. But Leto doesn't die. Instead, she awakens on a mysterious island, her life to appease a god, her life to save a kingdom, her lies to destroy them all. So I think, yeah, that sounds quite interesting. So I'm going to put this on as a bit of an extra challenge. I'll put it on the side here, and one extra one, but I will be putting Happy Place on the TBR as my third prompt. I might put them down here actually. This will end up going back on my bookshelf for now. Okay, our fourth prompt is a beautiful cover. We've got a few different options for this one. I think I've got quite a few with a nice cover. I do like Glow of the Everflame. I think that's such an interesting cover. So it's got the same sort of outline of her face the first book had, but then it's got this castle behind it, so I quite like that, and I'm eager to continue this story. We've also got The City of Stardust, which is a beautiful cover, and it's got a lovely spine as well. So I think these are my two options. I'm so bad at picking because I want to choose them both, but that will be a lot of work on myself. Now, if I'm looking at the covers and I'm being honest, A City of Stardust is stunning. It's a lovely cover. Got the sprayed edge. It's a lovely looking book. So I think this should be the fourth option. But as I've already shown I like to do, I might put this at the top as one to sort of prioritise. I really enjoyed the first book. I flew through it. This one is a lot longer than the first book, but I am eager to get to it, and I like to set myself a challenge. I am going to hate myself. I'm going to hate myself come March when I've got to try and read all these books. But, you know, we can put it up as a priority. If we get to it, we get to it. If we don't, we don't. So let's go to prompt number 5. It selected Sunbringer, which is the second in the series. I've not yet read the first one, God Killer, so I'm going to go and get that now, because I feel like if you've not read the first one, we can't really read the second one. So we've not done too bad on our TBR so far. We have picked 4 from the cart. I mean, yes, I've put myself an extra one up there from the bookshelves, but we have picked from the cart so far. But this one is from the bookshelves. So the TBR, say jar, but it is a spreadsheet, picked Sunbringer, but as it's the second in the series, I've not read the first one, so I'm going to instead default to the first one, and that is God Killer by Hannah Craner. We follow in this Kissen, who her whole family was basically killed by gods, and gods are basically forbidden. Some of them still wander around sort of demanding worship and sacrifice, but you know, most people don't really worship them. Kissen actually makes her money by being a god killer. She goes around and kills these gods that are still wandering around. That's until she meets a god that she can't kill. This is the god Skadi of White Lies. He has bound his soul to that of a little girl. Now, Kissen is not a bad person. She doesn't want to murder this little girl. So she decided that she's not going to kill this god straight away. She's going to find a way to unbind his soul from this little girl. Then she can kill him. Now this is book 1 in a trilogy. I do have the second one already to go, so if I like this one, I can potentially start the second one a bit sooner. So our 5th book on February's TBR is God Killer. Now let's spin for prompt number 6. So prompt number 6 was our random number generator, and we got to 89. So I thought for this, we will count our books and stop when we get to 89. Now I have to sort of rearrange them, so I don't know if that's cheating or not, but I'm going to count this side, I'll count on the bottom, and then I'll go onto the back. So wish me luck, we're going to count to 89. So I have just time-lapsed that. So you saw I did land on My Roommate's a Vampire. I'm going to stick with the rules of the game I'm going to put on there, but I'm going to be honest, I don't have any interest in reading this month. Yeah, I've got nothing on it. I think maybe this was probably a dud pickup, and I probably should have picked up the second one, but we shall see. I might end up enjoying it. This follows our character Cassie. She moves into a new apartment. She thinks her roommate is a bit strange. You know, he's up all hours of the night. He doesn't really seem to eat. You know, he just seems a bit odd. And then she finds out that her roommate is indeed a vampire. 6th pick for this month is My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
I apologise if my camera angle keeps changing. I keep being interrupted and getting up, getting down, and yeah, and then my tripod ends up moving because it's precariously balanced. It is what it is. So the next one, prompt number 7. Now I'm probably going to do 8. May not get all 8 books read. We can hope, we can dream, we can wish, but we will see how many we get done. So prompt number 7, let's spin that wheel. Okay, so this is a book that I know nothing about. Actually, I'm going to do something sneaky. I'm going to move God of the Everflame, which I was going to try and do as a bit of an extra. I'm going to move that and make this book number 7 because I've not read the synopsis of it. I know obviously what happened in book 1, but I've not read the synopsis of this because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. So actually, I don't know what happens in this. This is technically a book I know nothing about because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the plot is. Yeah, so this is book 2 in the Kindred Curse saga. So Glow of the Everflame is going to be book number 7, a book I know nothing about because I've not read the synopsis. So yes, I'm wanting this one. Okay, I feel like I probably should do 7, should I do 8? Okay, I am going to try for 8. Let's see. I'm hoping for something different because so far I have 4 fantasy and 3 romance. I'm hoping for maybe a thriller on there. Something different. Because we cleared space as well, there is now room to put these books back on the front, which I will do now. Okay, so the books now all fit. So the books now all fit on these 2 shelves. So, good progress. Let's spin for prompt number 8. Hopefully we can find a book that fits it and a book that we want to read. I've got it up on my laptop just still so I can just see it. I feel like nothing necessarily like is the right shade of blue for that. Like I thought maybe this, but I think it's a little bit off. That could potentially work actually. We'll leave that as a potential. I am tempted to go to the bookshelves. Should we go to the bookshelves and have a look? Quick, because I don't have much battery at all. Looking at that colour, what do I have that matches? I am looking at my thriller and crime shelves. Ooh, okay, I found a contender. I'll bring it back to you. Come back and looking at the colour on the screen. These 2, this definitely doesn't fit it. That's way too weird. I don't know what I was thinking. This one sort of fits it there, but I feel like the majority of it isn't that blue colour. So I might discount that one. Now it is between these 2. Haven't They Grown and Kill For Me, Kill For You. I feel like I should prioritise this, but I want to read this. So, and they both match that blue. Yeah, this sort of matches it around the sky. Maybe not that patch there, but the rest of it does. And this is Haven't They Grown by Sophie Hannah. It seems really interesting. So basically Beth loses touch with her best friend and she drops her son off at football and she's like, you know what, maybe I can just pop round, see how she's doing. And she's outside of her former best friend's house when she sees them pull up. And she's not seen her friend in 12 years. And 12 years ago, her friend had 2 children. One was 3, one was 5. So she pulls up and she's like, you know what? it'd be good to reconnect. So as a friend gets out of the car, she's very confused because her friend still has a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. They haven't grown in 12 years. I'm eager to find out how that's going to be explained, what's happening in this house. Why haven't these children grown? I'm intrigued to try this one. I'm going to put one on there that I want to read as a bit of a priority for me. So here is our March TBR. These are going to be our priority reads for this month. So we had, let's do a bit of a recap. I will pop them at the top. So we had a book that starts with the letter B, and we've chosen Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. We had a book with 2 authors. We have Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Webber. Throwing away for the 2 Catherine spelled differently. The next we had a book with the C on the cover. So we've chosen Happy Place by Emily Henry. The next prompt was a book with a beautiful cover. So I have gone for The City of Stardust. It has a lovely cover and a beautiful suede edge as well. Number 5 was our TBR spreadsheet that chose for us with a random number, and that chose Sunbringer, but we've gone for the first book in the series, Godkiller. So our 5th book on the TBR for March is Godkiller by Hannah Craner. Our next prompt was a random number generator, and that chose number 89. So we counted 89 on our TBR card, and it landed on My Roommate is a Vampire by Jen Levine. Our 8th prompt was a book that I know nothing about. So I've read the first one in the series. I've not looked at any descriptions of the second one in the series. So the next one we're going to read is Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole. Final book 8 was chosen by the prompt for a random colour generator. And that colour matched Haven't They Grown by Sophie Hannah. So just have 2 roller books that I would like to get to, and that's Icebreaker by Hannah Grace and Cricket Kingdom by Leah Bardugo. So I'm going to put them also at the top, so I can try and prioritise getting them done. If you've read any of these books, feel free to comment and let me know what you thought of them, obviously spoiler free. If you've got some of them, why not read along with me? Share our opinions about it together in our March wrap up. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please like and subscribe. It was lovely spending this time with you. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day and happy reading.